Hi guys, this is Shivati. In this session, I'm going to explain promises versus observables. Promises and observables are both used in asynchronous programming to handle data streams and asynchronous operations. First, let us look at what is promise. So, promise, a promise handles a single asynchronous event and resolves to a single value, either it is successful or failure. Promises are starts executing immediately upon creation and resolve value is delivered only once. So these are eager in execution nature. Once a promise is created, it cannot be cancelled. And also promises doesn't have the built-in methods for handling the complex asynchronous operations like mapping, filtering, and transformation for data streams. Promises are static in nature. Once they are resolved or rejected, their state cannot be changed. So these are some of the key features of the promise. Now let's talk about the key features of the observables. So an observable represents a stream of data that can emit multiple values over time. It could be like 1, 2, 3, and so on. Any number of values it can emit. And observables are lazy in nature. They don't start executing until they are subscribed to. Multiple subscribers can listen to the same observable, and each subscription triggers a new execution of the observable. And observables can be cancelled by unsubscribing, which is going to help preventing the memory leaks and unnecessary processing. Observables has built-in support for different operations like map, filter, reduce that allow complex transformations and operations on the data streams. Observables are more dynamic in nature. They can be manipulated even after their creation, allowing flexibility in handling the asynchronous data. Now let's go ahead and understand this promise and observable with an example. So here I have implemented one data service. It is nothing but the service component I have implemented. So in this service, we have the server URL. When you hit that particular URL, which is nothing but the Spring Boot with REST APIs. So when you call this particular URL, it is going to provide you the certain response, which is nothing but it is going to return you the products. So here we are using the HTTP client module to interact with the REST APIs. So I have created instance for HTTP client. By using this HTTP client object, you can invoke any REST APIs like get, put, post, delete. Now here we have implemented two methods. One is the fetch data, another one is the get data. Fetch data is going to fetch the data using the promise, and once this particular method is getting called, it is going to invoke this promise to make an asynchronous call to the server, and it will retrieve the data. Another one is the get data. Whenever we call this get method, it is going to make a asynchronous call using observable, and then it will get us the data. Now let us go ahead and see the component class for this particular observable promise and observable component. So here it is a simple component, promise observable component. Here we have constructor where we are injected that particular data service, and then as part of the component load, which is nothing but onInit, ng onInit is a Angular lifecycle method which is going to be invoked as part of the component load. So whenever this particular method is getting called, it automatically calls this data service fetch method, which internally using the promise to retrieve to make a asynchronous call to the server and get the response. Once the response is given by the service layer, then it is going to set this particular result to this results from results property defined in this promise observable component. Similarly, I have implemented one more method, which is the click me. In this, whenever user perform this event, click me. So it is going to call this get data, which is nothing but which is going to make a asynchronous call using the observable, and then it is going to get the response. Whenever we use the observable, you are going to subscribe to that particular observable, and then you can get the response. So this is how you can handle promise and observable in Angular. Let's quickly go to the HTML template and then see how we are implementing. So once we get this result, let result of results. We are using the ng for directive to iterate over this particular collection, and it is going to print the values. Let's go to the browser and then execute this particular program. Then if you see here, it able to fetch the product details using the promise, and when you click on this particular button, then it is going to make a call get data, and which internally calls the observable using the observable asynchronous communication will get and fetch the data. Hope this concept is clear. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.